What's up, Legends? Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're jumping into Black Ops 7 Zombies, and I'm bringing you guys the survival guide to the survival mode on the map Vandorn Farm. And if you guys enjoyed this enough, please let me know down in the comment section below, and I'll be sure to put something out similar for the future survival maps as well, and maybe I'll even dive into the main maps doing something like this for Ashes of the Dam. What you guys can expect out of this video is I'm going to dive in. Maybe we'll do the first 26 rounds or so. I'll show you guys what I do and why. I'll show you guys what I buy and when. And honestly, I'll just give you guys a better understanding of the strategy you should have on this map, giving you a better chance at survival in your future runs, and hopefully making things just a lot easier and a little bit more enjoyable. All right, we're here. When we first spawn in, it's time to go ahead and shoot these spores off and get this party started. This is how we're going to power up or be able to get access to the power that's in the barn over there. We're going to shoot these. And depending on the weapon that you're using is really going to determine how difficult this actually is. But with something like an assault rifle, it should be pretty straightforward. I know in the beta, I had a few issues with the pistols and making it happen, but honestly, I was able to do it regardless of the challenge that it provided. Now we just need to actually farm up some zombies here and get enough points to actually open that up. Typically, when I get the match started, I like to turn on the Rampage Inducer, but because this guide is more for survival and probably more geared towards beginner players, new players, and stuff like that, I'm not going to run the Rampage Inducer for this run. Now, in these early rounds, obviously zombies are going to be fairly slow, but you do always still have to be, a little bit careful because they still do a decent amount of damage. And we're essentially just saving up so we can open up this door. This is going to be your barn. You're going to have access to your power switch there and also Pack-a-Punch. And then in this building over here, we'll have access to our armor vest or armor upgrades and also the mystery box. And then in here, we'll have access to the Wonder Fizz, home to all the perks and our perk purchases at least. And it's going to be a lot of fun, I think, for a lot of people jumping into the survival map. If you guys didn't play Black Ops 2, this was a mode that existed back then. And it's something they brought back. And I honestly think it's going to be pretty fun to see what maps or portions of maps, I guess you could say, they choose to go with in future drops of these survival maps. All right, we're going to go ahead and focus on headshots here. Now, obviously, people are going to jump in doing different things. Some people might be doing camo grind. Some people just might be surviving. So obviously, if you're going for the camo grind, focus on those headshots. And maybe regardless, you're going to want to be focusing on those headshots to get those eliminations as fast as possible. But essentially here, what I want to do first is save up enough points to get up Pack-a-Punch. So we need to get up to 5,000 essence. And the main reason for that is we get a bigger magazine, we get a bigger ammo reserve, our weapon gets a little bit of boost, and then we can actually focus on our next step, which is going to be utilizing our friend Chompy here, which is this trash can over here, to kind of boost ourselves up salvage-wise, so that way we can actually get access to our rarities a little bit faster. If you don't care what weapon you're using, then you might be able to skip rarities quite a bit by just hitting up the mystery box, but I think a majority of players jumping into this mode, especially if you're doing the camos, you'll be wanting to focus on leveling up your actual loadout weapon. Okay, I have a few zombies left over here on round 5, but we did actually manage to make enough to go ahead and hit up Pack-a-Punch. So let's go ahead and get Pack-a-Punch level 1. Like I said, it gives us a boost to our ammo reserve, most importantly, but also our magazine. And now we also get the boost in damage, which is really nice. Now our next focus, we need to actually get this door opened up here. So we're going to hit the mystery box to gather weapons to take over to Chompy there to swap out for salvage, like I was saying, so we can actually boost up the amount of salvage that we're gaining and get access to our upgrades to our rarity a little bit faster. The goal is to hopefully be maybe epic rarity at the very least by the time we get to round 16, which is when we can expect our first bear, which is definitely going to be a kind of a pain if you're not ready for it damage-wise. Now, the strategy that I'm kind of sharing in this video is definitely not going to be the fastest. So if you guys are looking for a fast and efficient way to get your gold camos unlocked at the very least, I did already do a video that's up on the channel in regards to that, and I will put it in the pinned comment down below. So we just got a bloodstone camo. Speaking of that, we've already gotten gold on all of our assault rifles or the golden dragon. So I'm working on bloodstone. This is the second weapon that I unlocked it on. And obviously, like in these early rounds I was talking about earlier, it's going to be pretty straightforward, nothing too complicated. I could grab this insta-kill, but we're not going to really get to utilize it. I probably should have waited to flip the round so I can actually do this, but that's fine. Oh, it looks like the wonder weapon's in there. Hopefully we don't get it, because that'd be interesting. All right, we're going to pick this up, and I'm actually going to try to deliver it to Chompy really quickly. We'll go ahead and pull out our knife here. The only thing that's important is I don't think it works if you use melee macchiato. So you're going to want to make sure you don't do that. But we delivered a weapon. It gave us a little bit of salvage. And I do want to try to do that 2 more times before we flip the round. You can also deliver the weapons during the round so you don't forget, like I have been. And it looks like the green ones are giving me 100. I wonder if they nerfed Chompy at all since the beta. It seems like it's a little less so far. I haven't really used it much yet since doing my runs because I feel like using Chompy is a little bit on the slower end as opposed to just blasting through the rounds and getting the salvage that way. So depending on the route you want to go, if you want to go the slow and steady route but be a little bit more powerful, I would recommend utilizing Chompy. And if you guys want to do the speed run tech, I would recommend just going through the rounds and picking up the salvage as you go. But it is going to be a little bit more challenging that way. All right, now we have a little bit more time. We can get at least 1 more weapon. I think I delivered 2 so far this round. You can deliver 3 weapons per round as long as you have the currency for it. All right, we got another green. It's not going to be super valuable to us, but might as well get it delivered. And like I said, I'm going to continue doing this for the next few rounds, just trying to get that rarity up on our main weapon so we can take on the old... Oh, can't do it again this round. I'll have to wait till we flip it. Okay, I just came down here and I got rare rarity. I am a little interested. I guess I should have tested it before this video specifically to see if it was still functioning the way it was in the beta. But it does look like I can't open up the trash can again. So maybe there's a limited amount of uses you can put weapons into there. So if it is indeed ending up being not a bug, but the way it's been changed since the beta, my recommendation would be to wait until closer to like round 15 or something, or even later if you want to funnel the weapons into this, because there's a better chance you'll get a higher rarity out of the box the later you wait. And the higher rarity of the weapon that you deliver, the better the outcome of the salvage. Now, thankfully, we had the Gobblegum carry forward from Black Ops 6, but maybe not everybody has access to those. But I will mention them and utilize them a little bit here just to give people an idea of what they can be using to help themselves out. Now, I do have a double point on a temporal gift. Temporal gift obviously doubles the amount of time of the effect of the next Gobblegum you use. And there's a little quality of life in this game where you just have to activate the Gobblegum and you don't have to actually pick up the power up. So I'm going to go ahead and use a dead drop. And this is going to give us 5 minutes of increased salvage drops from our zombies. And hopefully it'll be the difference maker for us going up against the bear specifically. Now, I think as long as you're at least Pack-a-Punch level 1 and rare, you should be fine for the first bear. But as you continue to steadily increase in rounds, I feel like you just have to be a little bit ahead of the curve to make things easy enough, because you do have to deal with all the zombies as well. So hopefully we can get a decent amount of salvage here, because we do need 2750, which probably won't be likely before we actually fight the bear. But we could go ahead and Pack-a-Punch to level 2 fairly soon as well. Now, I'm a little bit high level for this, but we do have a little bit of time. I'll run up here. I usually try to do this with an extra zombie at the end or something, but I'm going to go up here and I'm going to grab this, and then I'm going to get hit a few times and we're going to be fine. Quick revive and jug. Definitely the first 2 I'm grabbing on this map. Mostly just because it can be a little bit crazy at times trying to squeeze through the zombies. I usually play with the Rampage Inducer on, so it tends to be a little crazy. And obviously I still have enough points to buy more, but I didn't think enough ahead at the end of that last round. Oh, nice. We got a double points. We're going to try to take full advantage of this. What do we get? Another power-up? That's a nuke. We're going to avoid the nuke. Nuke is going to equal less points for us in some aspects. Unless we can manage to finish off pretty much all the zombies, then we don't want to actually grab that. We want all the salvage, too. We did do the dead drop. Did it at a pretty good time. It's actually given us quite a bit in return. We're up to what? 1,400? Oh, there's a crawler. I was like, what is hitting me? And we can actually go ahead and hit this because there's almost no zombies left. All right, we're back at the perk machine. I think I want to get double tap. And I think I want to get speed cola. And then maybe next we're going to get dead shot. But we don't have to go too crazy. Honestly, if this round goes well, we could potentially get at least Pack-a-Punch level 2, which would be nice. I mean, you just want to be at least a little overpowered if you can be when it comes to the bear. Just so you can get it out of here quickly. All right, let's try to take these guys down quick. See if we can't build up some points. Too bad we already had our double points. Now, we still haven't quite reached the point where the area that you run, or I guess the training route that you take, isn't as important because the zombies aren't super fast, but it is going to change as you progress. And as we go a little bit closer to round 26, which is our end goal for this run, I will be trying to show you guys the best way to run around this area so that you can avoid taking too much damage. Because it is going to get crazy, especially if you choose to run the Rampage, or if you stay in long enough. Maybe you're trying to get gold in one match. You might be here for a while, around 40 plus. Okay, I'm just gonna go ahead and pull the trigger. I needed to buy ammo anyway, so I'm just gonna go ahead, buy pack punch level 2. We're gonna go down here. Where's our bear? Our bear's inside. Our bear's coming from behind us. All right, we're gonna do our actual route this time here. We're focusing on the bear. We're gonna try to run around the hay bale here. Where is it? I see it now. We are definitely a little bit overpowered for this guy. Oh, watch out for the zombies. They definitely spawn a ton in front of you in this game. More than they did in BO6. All right, bear down. Just like that. Because we chose to get pack 2. Pack 1 purple would be fine. Pack 2 blue is fine. Kind of depends on your match and what you're working with. We're probably going to have enough for purple by the end of this round if it keeps going like this, actually. Get that little bit extra. Oh, what is that on the ground? We're going to use that for our exfil. Yeah, we got a dog. We're going to use that for the exfil when we leave. Absolutely a possible best option for those of you that are interested in getting out of the exfils, you know, pretty much 100% of the time, to use a prestige token on the dog score streak. Okay, we're finally getting to the point where these Ravagers become a little bit more annoying, so I'll just show you guys how I deal with them. I just essentially run as fast as I can away from them, turn around, hip fire or fire at them as much as possible. It may not be enough to get rid of all of them. I don't know where the last one went. I think the last one went out of the map. All right, let me go ahead and run downstairs. The perfect time for us to get our epic rarity. So using that dead drops definitely helped quite a bit. So unless my game is bugged, and they definitely changed our friend over there, Chompy, because we can't utilize Chompy quite as frequently. Or, oh, we can again. So it's back. You just have to wait long enough. I don't know what the cooldown period is. Maybe they just extended the cooldown period, but all right, that's cool. So Chompy's still in business. You guys can still utilize that as long as it's available. It just might not give you enough in the earlier rounds. So now we're actually looking pretty good here. We have almost everything we need as far as our weapon power is concerned. We're pack 2 purple, so it only leaves 1 pack-a-punch level and 1 rarity level, and we don't have to get those anytime soon. And then next we want to work on getting some more of our perks. But I think what I'm going to do now is go ahead and get the 2-platers, because we're going to start getting hit quite a bit more. If you find yourself getting hit a ton earlier than this, obviously go ahead and get the 2-plater earlier. But for me, I just try to push it to the end, or to the, you know, the limit, I guess you could call it, by just getting to the point where I start feeling like I'm getting hit a lot more often, which tends to be closer to around 20. All right, we got rid of all those guys. Everything's looking good so far. We're building up our salvage. We're building up essence. I mean, we don't have much we can do here. Let me go ahead, actually, and just run up here and get dead shots. We can just get a little bit more damage. All right, let's start actually running the route a little bit more here. So basically, you're going to want to stick to the outskirts. The zombies are kind of slow at this round, so you can kind of wait for them to build up, then run past, and just kind of wait for them to build up and keep running. And I honestly like to pull them up this way and then run straight across this way, because it pulls them kind of in a straight line, and it makes it really easy to just aim at their heads and just fire your entire magazine. And if you're lucky, you reload fast enough, you might get a little bit extra time in there. Oh, and we actually had more than enough to pretty much destroy all the zombies that we had available to us at the moment. Oh, look at all these insta-kills. I didn't even get to do the entire train. Well, we should be able to in the next round here. Okay, let's go ahead and get a few more perks. Honestly, a lot of the time, I don't even buy all the perks. It kind of just depends on what I'm doing. For the camo grind, I definitely don't recommend using ammo mods or using elemental pop, but because we're doing what we're doing here, we should be good. Unfortunately, they nerfed the crap out of PhD, so although I really do enjoy it, I'm not running the Rampage Inducer right now, so it's not going to be as important for me to utilize to squeeze through those tiny gaps, but definitely it's a little bit disappointing to see how much changed for PhD Slider and Tribologist specifically here in BO7. All right, now that we don't have a bear, let's try to actually run this route. Oh, I have a Ravager, though, and those dudes are just glued to me. There we go. Pull out my knife, and we're going to run the actual route here. So we just pull all of our zombies. At the beginning of the rounds are always going to be the hardest. You're going to pull all your zombies, pull all your zombies. Keep doing it. Go this way. Should be getting a majority of them in at this point, or a lot of them in at this point. We'll switch back to our weapon. We'll run straight across the middle here because it's a big open area. Gives us a ton of space to get as much space between us and the zombies as possible. Then we try to get as many of them out of here as we can. Luckily, we had an ammo mod drop there. That's kind of nice. Thank you, Elemental Pop. Then we're going to do the same thing. We're going to go to the outskirts here. We're going to pull all of our zombies together. Keep coming, keep coming. Sometimes they can be a little bit slow. If you're running the Rampage Inducer, it is not quite this easy, but it's still the same idea. Then you're going to go across the middle again, same thing. Take advantage of it the best you can. We don't have I wouldn't say an extreme amount of zombies yet, so it's not that crazy. Go back across the straightaway. Gives us plenty of space. Allows us to keep shooting. I mean, it makes pretty easy work of the first 25, 30 rounds, honestly, for a lot of the weapons. All right, I heard a bear. There it is. We're going to focus on the bear this time and see if we can't get it out of here as quickly as possible. We're going to use a lot of ammo on this bear, unfortunately. Where is it? I don't see it. It's hiding back there. All right, we're going to go this way. We're going to be fine here. Oh, I don't know why it stopped moving for so long. It's standing there growling. All right, we got to the edge. We're going to go ahead and fire at it, fire at it, fire at it. It's the same thing, too, with the bear. You just got to keep your distance. It is going to be scary. It can be a little frustrating if your weapon's not strong enough, but it won't take long to destroy this guy in the early rounds if you're keeping up with your weapon damage. But now we're back to our training situation. See all of our zombies. We're going to go ahead and cut across. Going to pull them all this way. It keeps them as much, lined up and in a group as possible, really. And then you can take advantage of doing all your headshots and getting as many of your camos done in one match as possible, right? Honestly, you should be able to get gold in one match. It just kind of depends on your survivability. Okay, we got another special round. Here comes the Ravagers. The same idea, like I said, run for your life, turn around, and spray. Gotta reload, spray, just run. They do a lot of damage if you stop for too long, so just keep moving. And when you feel comfortable, turn around and spray as many as you can. And eventually, I don't know which one of these is the last one, but one of these guys, probably this one over here, get the last one out and you're good to go. Okay, we're in round 25. The last one we're going to be doing before exfil. We ended up with a bear, so we're doing the same thing. We're still focusing it. And we're doing really good against the bear currently, even though we haven't upgraded much since the last few of them. Or at all, for that matter. Oh, stay away from that guy. If it comes towards you, just run the other way. And you can see we're still following our training strat from before. Oh, gotta watch out for that. Okay, and almost the end of the bear, not quite. Need to get some ammunition. Need to get rid of this other gun, but every time I've gone over to Chompy, it's not available. There goes the bear. The bear is going to be the scariest part of the entire round. Once you get rid of the bear, you should be okay, even if you feel like it's getting scary. All right, we'll build up our zombies again. Same thing. Try to go up this way. I'll climb over this. Go across this way so I can go straight down. And we're good. And we just fire away. We should be able to torch a very good chunk of our zombies here. Go ahead and do it again. Oh, armored zombie. Somebody just got freaking brain rotted. And we almost, I don't think we quite have it, but we almost have. Yeah, we're like 100 short. All right, so we're legendary. We're pack 3. We're on round 25. Again, you could go ahead and choose to get the 3-plater if you'd prefer to get that over pack 3. But you do need to make sure you maintain enough currency for ammunition. All right, and our exfil is ready to go. Now, hopefully this has been a pretty helpful video. I think just people seeing what my strategy is, when I choose to buy things, roughly where they should be at when they get to a certain point in the match, just generally helps a lot. All right, I gotta throw this guy down. Okay, I think I got it down. Come on. Hopefully it drops. Where's our guy at? I think he's in. So you can throw the dog down. This is why I think it's going to be such a good streak. And then I'm going to place him right there, sentry mode. All right, stay right there. And then we're going to see if it just torches this bear. I think it will. Get him. Get our bear. Just chasing me. Get him. Get him. Yeah, it's actually torching it. There we go. We'll help it out a little bit. And with the dog, we were able to absolutely cook our bear there, and we are free to exfil. And just like that, that is going to be your survival guide to the survival mode map Vandorn Farm. And hopefully, going through this and watching this video once will have you guys living longer, getting those camos easier, and just having an overall better experience. So that's going to wrap things up for us here. Thank you guys for all the support in today's video, all support in the channel, and I look forward to seeing y'all in the next one.